Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of First and Last. My name is Josh, and with me in person this week.
Oh, live episode.
Yeah, that's right. Ready for some microphone bleed is Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy.
Vaxxed and relaxed.
That's right.
Something.
We all got that sweet serum flowing through our veins, and
yeah,
all
I feel
chipped
great.
up.
now we can all hang out, triple kiss, and make a podcast in person.
Whoa.
Yeah, our immune systems are just like still getting used to it though, so we're all gonna get like just real bad colds.
Yeah, I actually said that to somebody the other day, that I was like, we haven't hung out with people for like consistently for such a long time that like we're all gonna get sick.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're just like not gonna get COVID sick. We're just gonna get like, oh, people are gross and dirty sick.
Yeah. I don't think I ever got the flu shot. Because, like, what was I doing? I think I totally forgot.
I don't think you need to get a flu shot if you're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Just, yeah.
Which
wear,
you didn't.
Mask up every flu season and be good to go.
Yeah.
Didn't get the flu this year.
Yeah, that's true. I had a random question that I thought of this morning that I wanted to ask you guys. And the question was originally, do you dream? But that's silly because I think everyone does, or else you'll go like insane or something.
It'd be bleak if Jimmy was like, no, actually.
Never dreamt. Not
No
once.
one's ever asked me that before.
Nothing
but I
going
don't.
on up there.
But like, do you generally remember your dreams, like when you wake up, or are you like me, where I feel like a while goes by and then I'm like, oh yeah, I think this.
It's generally been pretty hazy, but I feel like over the past year, honestly, been pretty vivid, and I remember them.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. It's pretty good. I just feel like I wake up and I have like a feeling of like I'm supposed to do something or something happened. And then over the course of the first like couple hours of my day, I realize like, oh, that I don't have to act in a high school play on Friday because I'm 36.
Yeah.
That was today, by the way.
Yeah.
I had like this feeling that I was supposed to do something. And then
Like, I don't want to get into all the details
Weird.
from my dream last night just because it's supremely boring, but I remember every boring detail.
Really?
I don't get that anymore.
Like, I remember there was part of it that like we were considering watching the Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Nice.
Did you?
Just considering it.
Just considering it. That's why I'm saying like I don't want to recount all the details because it's that boring. But like,
Yeah.
we didn't even watch the movie. We were just like, hey, should we watch this movie again? And I was like, I guess so.
I would watch that.
We've lost 10
Is that the
viewers.
most recent
Joe just going. Joe just recounting his. Should we?
Was that the last movie I saw in theaters? When did movies
Maybe.
stop being in theaters?
That was winter 20.
Was it 2019?
Maybe.
Was it 18? Okay. That was the last time I saw that movie.
I'm even like,
theater.
was that the last Star Wars movie? Even, but it was. So
Yeah.
Yeah. They packed up shop after that. They were like, no more.
Disney shut down the world.
We're done making that
We're
money.
done as a company.
No more. We've made enough. I don't. I normally don't remember my dreams unless I wake up to an alarm and like I've been jolted out of it. But I work like stupid hours and don't ever have to be anywhere, so I typically like just wake up and I don't remember.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it just comes gradually to me. There's just one or two times I feel like in the past couple of years that have been like, I think this thing is happening, and then I slowly realize that it's not real.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe it's because I've been in my house the past year, and maybe like being in a dream space seems more interesting to me, and that's why I remember it, but I just remember my dreams a lot better now.
There's just nothing else going on.
Yeah,
For your brain
my
to think
waking
about.
life is just so bland that I just remember the dream life much more.
It's also that like tab of LSD you take right before bed.
Yeah, helps me sleep.
I can't imagine
The
that would
dreams
be
are dope.
true. Oh man. All right. Well, this isn't the dreaming podcast.
Yes,
What
it
is this, Joe?
It's a TV pod where we watch just the first and last episode of a TV show. So we typically structure it where we review what we know about a show, watch the first episode, and then review that pilot and then try to make some predictions for the finale and see if they come true. A lot of times they don't. And a lot of times the show is completely different by the end and we have no idea what's going on. But it's part of the experiment, part of the joy.
I thought you were just going to say, it's just part of life.
This is part of life. Sometimes you wake up, you don't know where you are.
You never got to watch Rise of Skywalker.
You promise your friends and family you'll never do that again, but it'll happen again.
Oh, you're going to do that again. It's going to happen. It's your show this week, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Did you pick a good one?
Yeah, I think I've heard things.
Yeah, don't blow it.
Not really.
Or else I'm never coming back here.
Yeah, it's our first podcast back in studio.
Yeah. So I tried to go kind of like epic cuz we've done some silly stuff. We did some sci-fi last week. I don't remember the other shows. We're already like, because I'm back around again, so we've already done 6 episodes then this
would be the
season?
7th one of the season,
Whatever
think.
Season this is? That's crazy to me. Okay.
If you started. I don't even know if you started.
No, I don't think I did.
Well, then it's probably less than that. I'm not going to
So
count.
this would be, okay, anyway.
This is probably 6.
So I picked 24.
Ooh.
Which I can't believe we haven't done yet.
Starring Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah, any show with a star named Kiefer has got to be great, right?
No.
Okay.
It's got to be a few of those.
Have you guys, so this is 2001. It was 8 seasons and then there was like a short spin-off season that I don't think should count.
No, because someone else, that wasn't Kiefer. That was...
Was it not Kiefer? Right?
Yeah, it was kind of, it was like a reboot kind of. With
It was some other
agent.
person though.
Well, because there was like a TV movie.
25.
Yeah,
Prequel, 23.
25
twist.
hours later.
Didn't see that coming.
Nice. I guess I don't know about that. So there's 8 normal seasons. Started in 2001.
Oh yeah, because the other one, the
eps.
9th one's called Redemption, right? 24 Redemption.
That sounds right.
Sounds right to me.
Redemption something. Jack Bauer. The most that I know about this show, because I've never seen it, is in It's Always Sunny, they find cop uniforms and they get a little mangy cat that they put in this like fake squad car and they name him Jack Bauer.
Oh, from
It's Always
Sunny. Yeah.
I'm rewatching that.
I think 24 Redemption was the movie, the TV movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there was like a short season in like 2014, but I think that was like also a 24 colon something that I don't.
Live Another Day. Here we go.
Live
sounds
Another
like
Day.
sounds like a James Bond title.
It really does. Yeah. So the only thing I really know about 24, especially because
you
it
watched
came.
it either?
No, I've
For some reason, I assumed you guys watched 24.
Just because we're
racist.
Yeah, it might be. Honestly, I think
is it just because we're white dudes, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I'm judging because you're white dudes in Minnesota, just probably 24 fans.
Well, and here's the fact. Here's the thing: is like,
pause the podcast. We have to have a word.
the old,
some sensitivity training.
When it was 2001,
yeah,
and I was 16. The old white dude I lived with liked 24.
Well, there you go. Because that's the thing. Because I've never watched this show either. But that's the thing is like this show came out like what a month after 9/11, and it was a show about fucking fighting terrorists. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
I assume that this is going to be in very poor taste.
Or just like the show that America wanted and needed at the time. Like give us some fiction about fighting these terrorists.
Just propaganda.
I want to watch my TV.
Yeah, no, I think you're right on, Joe. I think
Hell
you're
yeah.
100% correct.
Let's roll.
I mean, I hope we're done with this show and we're like, fuck yeah, America.
Yeah.
Don't mess with us.
I wonder if they just because this show, I just read in the Wikipedia that this maybe the pilot probably part or most of the first season was filmed in March 2001. So obviously way before 9/11, and then premiered after 9/11. That like, I wonder if they just like, tried to hype up more of the patriotism elements of it. If they're just like edited in some American flags and like things like that.
Edit all the bad guys to be brown.
Yeah, just gonna turn the color balance down.
Contrast
when we show the bad guys.
I mean, so
man. Oh man.
Everything's like dark. It's like only sunny out when Americans are walking around, and then when it like shows the terrorists, it's like dark outside and it's like storming or something.
Just Middle Eastern music playing. Just edited that in later
for no reason.
They're not even Middle Eastern terrorists.
Yeah.
It's just like
we're making jokes, but I fully expected to fully expect to see this in the pilot.
Well, it's fine.
Yeah,
and if it does crazy shit like that, obviously we're going to be like, dear God, stop it. But maybe it'll be a little bit more tasteful than that. But I mildly doubt it. Jimmy, you said this went for 9 seasons, but we're going to watch the 8 seasons, the true run, right?
Right.
So what is that? Well, it's 8
9
times
in a
24, right? Because there was 24 episodes in every single season.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. Is like
so.
Each episode was like an hour in real time, and then each season was a day, 24 hours. That was the thing, right?
Yeah, that is my understanding.
And like he never poops.
Right. You never see him take a shower. He never uses the restroom.
It's not like Jack Bauer 100% of the time, so you assume that means every single time Kiefer Sutherland's not
pooping
on TV, he'll be like on the screen. Pooping. I'll be like, he's probably taking a poop right now, taking his shower, brushing his teeth,
shit, shower, shave.
That's what he's doing.
I mean, yeah, he only needs 10 minutes.
Yeah,
get him back on screen.
I don't think I've ever seen an entire episode of the show ever. Like in passing when like my parents were watching it. Have you seen it at all, Jimmy?
No, this was not on in my house.
Really?
I mean, maybe I wasn't home a lot in high school.
You also lived like with an old white guy when you were 16.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Man,
he worked nights a lot. I don't know.
This is how the terrorists win.
Oh.
by us not watching 24.
Yeah.
Before this even aired. I assume.
Fair enough. I guess. So we get it. It's Kiefer Sutherland fighting terrorists, protecting America. Fuck yeah.
Is he like FBI or CIA?
America.
I guess we need to figure out. We need to guess like what he is.
I don't know
and
why.
Then, obviously, like what episode 1's definitely like probably some fucking 9/11 type event.
Yeah, probably.
That they recorded in March, and then it happened in September
in real
for real, before the actual TV show aired. Because what day in 2001 did this come out?
November 6, 2001 on Fox.
I assume it was. I'm going to go with like some sort of like Oklahoma City type bombing scenario, like a government building explodes.
Okay.
In the first episode. And then within the first hour, they discover it was probably some brown person that did it because, of course.
Man, I'm thinking that like the attack hasn't happened yet, but they have some intel that like in the next 24 hours there's going to be like a biological attack or something, and they have to prevent it.
So like it's going to be The Rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd watch that.
I just assumed it when you said like, oh, they have some intel on an attack. I'm like, oh, so what they're gonna do is what the normal American government does and just wait on it until it happens and then respond or something. Yeah, we heard about it, but we weren't sure.
Let's see how this plays out. Yeah, because I think that sets up like a good like your whole season of like
try and stop it.
There's gonna be this climax at the end of this season.
Yeah, I kind of feel like my thing about like maybe a bombing of a government building is like it's not big, it's not too small, it's not like an entire block of a building or something, but it does happen. But then that leads to them going, oh, they're targeting more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I guess.
So I think
it could be that.
I think there needs to be an explosion right away, just because TV.
Yeah.
And then there's probably nuclear stuff at the end. I don't want to get into my predictions already, but.
Yeah, I guess this seems like the kind of show that, like, for the pilot, and it's like the first hour that you can pretty much assume what's going to happen in the season finale. But by the series finale, it could be very different.
Yeah, it's going to be weird because I don't understand how the seasons work either, and we're not going to really.
I assume it's
we're
not.
probably not going to know at all. When we're
I
done
assume
with
it's not just the next day.
Yeah.
Gotta
is this
take a vacay.
Is this just 8 days in this man's life?
I hope so.
It's got to be years, right? It's got to be like at least like terrorism strikes again next year, 6 months from now.
And
It can't be literally on Monday he stops a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, because then like Tuesday you figure he's just sleeping most of that day.
Yeah.
Right. I hope by season 8 he's just like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. It's just like, oh, this shit's happening again.
I'm too
It's
old
got
for this shit.
Got some one-liners.
Samuel Jackson's there.
It's Danny Glover.
Yeah, you did a
No,
what,
that's
what
Samuel
you did
Jackson's
was from
in,
Lethal Weapon, which is
the third.
he
third
is,
Die
but
Hard?
Samuel Jackson is in the third Die Hard.
Yeah.
But what you said, I'm too old for this shit, is from Lethal Weapon, which is
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, but
Danny Glover.
doesn't that's Danny Glover. It says that, but doesn't Bruce Willis say something like that in
Oh.
like Live Free and Die Hard, or
Probably so
like
many
Die Hard
times.
5?
probably all of them.
I wasn't saying Samuel Jackson said that.
That was the
No, I know the difference between those two titans of the industry. Come on now. Should we just get into it?
Probably.
Oh, I think we know.
Yeah, I feel like you need to hype me up. Like, can we watch the music video for God Bless the USA before this or something? I need to get in the zone.
Yeah.
I
Let's
think
just
if
watch
you're
the
gonna-
towers fall.
Edit out my laugh.
I can't. So interesting. Oh no. Okay, I just spoiled something, and I think I should just tell you. I'm looking at the list of episodes, and I went down to like season 2 and 3 because I wanted to see because they name them. Obviously, episode 1, season 1 is called 12 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Right.
That's what it's called. Episode 1 of season 2 is called Day 2, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Oh.
Episode 1 of season 3 is called Day 3, 1 p.m.
Holy shit.
But I'm not going any farther.
No
I won't ruin it
way.
for us.
Jack Bauer is holding his poops for 3 days.
So what I'm thinking is literally season 8 is Day 8.
That's insane.
That can't.
Well, and I read that the Redemption, the TV movie, is a prequel. So is it just the day before?
Oh, that's interesting because it goes seasons 1 through 6, and then Redemption is actually in between.
Oh yeah, it
6
aired
and
in
7,
between, right?
a la X-Files.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think that's exactly where the
Yeah.
X-Files movie was put to. And then it goes
Around there.
seasons 7 and 8.
but that wasn't a prequel movie. That movie.
No,
Happened in real time.
that actually connected the 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna watch the first episode of
Masterfully.
24, season 1, episode 1. It's called 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. We'll be back after that. And we're back. We're done with the first episode of 24, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You got a write-up, Jim?
Question mark? Yeah, here's what the wiki says. This episode takes place between midnight and 1 a.m. On the day of the California presidential primary. It chronicles 1 hour in the day of the life of Jack Bauer, a government agent called into work at the counter-terrorist unit. His daughter Kim, who is snuck out of the house, and his wife Terry, who goes out searching for Kim, and also a senator named David Palmer, who is seeking to become the first African-American president of the United States. CTU, the counter-terrorist unit, believes that David Palmer is being targeted for assassination. Received the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing for a Drama Series for this episode.
It did?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a low bar. 2001,
I
maybe.
don't know. It's a very high concept, though. You got all these plots going on, and it's happening in real time.
I mean, I guess it is
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. I just didn't think that the overall plot itself was like anything like mind-bending or
True.
like
No.
anything to write home about.
And I guess a lot of times those awards are given, in recognition of the whole season, but you got to pick an episode to submit.
Sure, and this is the episode that
Yeah.
started it all, so
Mhm.
we're gonna give it to this one or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. I mean, because one of the bigger things that it did that I turned to Joe and I said I hate this was when it was doing those like picture, like the multiple like scenes on screen, like just showing what everyone was doing at the exact same time,
Mhm.
and that was like fine. It felt
Yeah.
it just like it felt older but
Because
just-
it's it's supposed to express that it's happening in real time, so
Yeah.
like you get to see both sides of it.
but it did it a couple times. I was gonna let it go if it only happened once, but it did it a couple times where it was like Jack's like in the office working, and then it's like his wife is talking on the phone, and then the third one is also Jack's wife in a different angle,
Yeah.
like talking on the phone, and I'm like, why are you showing me
We
two?
don't have a third thing to show you
Yeah.
right
We're
now.
just like, oh, we don't want black screens, so
And sometimes the angle like isn't that different either. It's just
Right.
barely different.
like two cameras right next to each other.
It's
Right.
just the size of the screen you're looking at is slightly different.
Yeah, and that happened a couple times,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, I can't handle that part.
I'm sure it was very cool for the time.
It at least felt very different for the time.
Yeah.
Because there were, when they do those things side by side, like I feel like there's less cuts where in like your typical sitcom, or not sitcom, but like a, drama, it's like, camera reverse shot and back and forth between, a conversation. And in this, two people talking on the phone, and it's just a single shot the entire time,
Yeah,
or a lot of the time at least.
yeah,
Yeah.
that worked out.
It's interesting. I'm not even saying that that's good or bad. I'm just saying it makes it look different than any other drama going on.
Right, yeah, and I had no problem with that. Essentially, it just
Mhm.
didn't need to have two of the same shot, essentially,
Yeah.
or two the same scene, different angles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what? Because it
I
was always
assume-
one person in that like different angle scene. It wasn't like it was two people in a room, and one angle was at one guy, and one angle was at like another person or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is a lot of nitpicking for one little thing that happened, but
I assume by the end of this, it's just all going to be shot like mockumentary style, like The Office. 'Cause
Jack
it'll be
Bauer's
20
the
10
season
or
8's going to
whatever.
be Jack Bauer sitting on the couch being like, "Oh man, I just don't get it."
It's just a comedy now.
What did you guys think of it in general, though?
I actually was into it. I could have rolled into episode 2.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it wasn't bad by any means.
Mm-hmm. I think what I didn't expect was that it was going to be like a mystery,
Mm-hmm.
because the plot kicks off of, there's this assassination plot on this man running for president, but that who's the Jack's boss or whatever? He's like the head of something.
I don't know what his name was.
Did I get his name? He's
I
in
don't know.
stuff.
But anyways, like
He was only on the show for like maybe 5 minutes.
Are you talking
Yeah.
about the guy who cornered him? So his name in the show is Richard Walsh.
Walsh. Yeah. So Walsh, the guy in charge of this investigation, like takes Jack aside and says like, there's somebody involved in our department is like in on this. And I'm not even sure how he knows that, but like,
Yeah, right.
Right.
but yeah, that they at least have a mole, if not a co-conspirator that's involved in the department that's leaking information out to like get this plot done. And he says, Jack, like, you're the only guy I can trust, so you got to figure this out. So like it like sets up a thing of like, who can Jack trust? Like, which of these people that I've met are like in on it?
Yeah.
Jack versus the world.
Mhm.
Yep. Trust no one.
So yeah,
Classic.
I like I could picture that throughout the season you're gonna be picking up clues and like trying to guess who's good and who's bad. That's
Mhm.
intriguing.
He did also. Jack put like a little fun wrench or like wrench in the gears or whatever when they mentioned that Jack had like busted quote unquote bad guys that like worked for the counterterrorism unit or for some government agency.
Oh yeah, because he was like in internal affairs or something.
Yeah. And then one of his coworkers who apparently they used to smooch. I forget what her name was.
Yeah, don't know.
Nina.
Okay. He was talking to Nina, and then he was like, those bad guys that I caught?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't bad guys. They were like us, but they did one little thing wrong or something like that.
Yeah.
One of their other coworker, Tony, he calls Jack Mr. Clean. So he this guy never does anything wrong. Although he did trank a guy in his office.
He definitely did things. Yeah.
There's moral ambiguity here.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna go with the means justify the ends, then maybe he's crystal clean. But I think there's a pretty solid gray path he's walking down to get the good stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this guy comes in. He's supposed to give him some info, but he doesn't give Jack whatever access clearance he fully needs, because the senator that they're trying to protect, they think he's gonna shut down their department or whatever, that he's anti whatever. It seems there's some politics. And then then somehow Jack traces down that he's also a dirty guy. So Jack's it
sounded like he thought that was the case for a while. He had a thought, so he just decided to go on a limb and go, I'm gonna trank this guy, and then we'll figure that out in the half an hour when he's sleeping.
He tranks this guy, digs up some dirt on him, and uses that to blackmail him to get his source.
Yeah,
and that's our hero.
Yeah. Already a lot of questionable things that Jack is doing, but you're definitely supposed to be 100% for him, which somehow I still am, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm on board. Gotta trank some people sometimes.
And then he's got trouble going on at home.
Yeah, and then there's the side
kids
story.
Going crazy. Elisha
Cuthbert of Girl Next Door fame.
Right.
I mean, that and the happy endings that we did at some point years ago, I assume by this point.
Mm-hmm.
She was in that.
Yeah, she's his daughter, and she snuck out to go hang with, because she's a high school student, and she went to go hang with some skeezy college students.
Who now seem to have kidnapped her.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they're being trafficked, because it's her and her other friend that got recruited, I guess I would say, by these college dudes to have this party at a abandoned furniture, I guess not abandoned, it's a furniture store,
just closed.
Yeah,
I thought one of them worked there, but maybe that was just
I think that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, because they definitely had run of the place.
Yeah.
And they're drinking and whatever, and her friend is clearly out of it, and then when she asked to get taken home because her mom's looking for her, they just essentially kidnap her. She's like, that's my turn over there, and they're just yeah, play it cool.
Why don't you just chill out? You're in a van with two dudes you don't know, and your friend is very messed up. She was.
There's carpet on the walls. It's cool.
Yeah, they're in the Scooby van going down. So, and all the while, her mom, Terry, who is played by Leslie Hope, who's apparently in the next anthology of Slasher, if we ever get there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe in Spooky Month, and also in The Strain. She's trying to track her down with this guy who says his name is Alan York and says he's the other girl's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I feel like all this whole girl being daughter being potentially kidnapped and random dude,
everyone's being kidnapped?
I think none of this is as it I feel like there's more espionage, weird Kansas City shuffling going on with the kids and the mom more so than even Jack's stuff with counterterrorism.
Wasn't the mom didn't she offer up that oh, are you did your my daughter ran away, you're looking for your daughter too? And he's like, yeah,
totally.
Where do you live?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, he could be some anti-Jack guy that's trying to whatever, and then just went with the thing. Because it was already weird when he was like, "Tell me where you live. I'm gonna come to you." And it's like, just meet at the store.
Yeah. We were to figure out where they are approximately. Let's just meet there. But he was like, no, faster. I'll come pick you up at your home.
And she was like, yeah, cool. Here's my address.
And he's like, I already know it because I'm hunting Jack Bauer. Maybe he's not.
I kind of figure some of it, or not some of it, all of it's somehow connected, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Somehow.
I mean, maybe the boys are just shitty high school boys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the dude in the car
sex traffickers
with the wife is a bad guy somehow.
Mm-hmm. We haven't talked about the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the whole someone who's actually trying to kill David Palmer.
Apparently, or at least involved somehow.
Yeah, but then they made it. They did a good job of making you think it was like this guy, this very creepy looking dude.
Guy. Yeah. But yeah, so they're like the people at the CTU are talking about this plot on Palmer, and then they cut to this guy with like a very like how would you describe his face? It's very
like from the band Orgy.
Yeah.
Remember that band on MTV in the early 2000s?
His face is like 90% cheekbones. And he's pale. Like making a phone call on the plane to like Palmer's one of his like campaign
like he might have been the bass player to like Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
Which made it seem like this lady working from Palmer was also in on it.
Maybe in on it. But he said something suspicious like, are we still on for brunch tomorrow with the senator? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
But so like he's sitting next to this girl who like is very interested in like the things that are going on with him, and then they go have sex in the lavatory, and she steals like his wallet to like, it looks like to take his like press badge, and then she blows up the plane and hops out of it. Not in that order.
Right.
Opposite.
Right. She lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like the very end scene of her like skydiving down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Mia Kirshner.
And who is she, Jimmy?
She's Chris Evans's sister in Not Another Teen Movie.
Chris Evans is in that movie?
Yeah, dude.
Captain America himself.
Yeah, and she's trying to bang him, and he's like, I'm your brother.
Well, I mean, it is Not Another Teen Movie. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
It happens.
She's in probably other things. I don't know.
So that was a fun little subplot. Didn't see that one coming.
Right. Yeah. Before we get into predictions, I guess to me it sounds like both of you are like pretty much solidly on board. You would have like flowed right into episode 2.
Yeah.
This is correct.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I the cast was significantly better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, and we didn't say that David Palmer, the senator, is the State Farm guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
which is funny because I bet that all of our parents then would have seen the State Farm commercials and went, that's the 24 guy.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
he's
David
in
Palmer.
lots of stuff.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of other
he's
stuff.
He's in Heat. Did you ever see Heat?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Al Pacino and Valley Kilmers?
Also,
his
Heat,
wife.
Heat.
Josh, did you recognize his wife?
Jack Bauer's wife?
Yeah. No. Well, no.
David Palmer's wife.
Yeah.
I was like, I know who she's from stuff.
You know who she is. She's Yates from DS9.
Oh, nice. Star Trek, Deep Space Nine.
Also, apparently she's in the Orville, the like spoof Star Trek by what's his name?
Seth MacFarlane?
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
And apparently also I randomly found that Tony, the guy who works with Jack Bauer, is also in that show.
Hey man, gotta stick together.
Seth MacFarlane really liked 24. And
I think that show's still going. I wanna get into that.
Could be
silly. But yeah.
Were you saying something like pre-predicts? You're like, before we talk about predicts.
Oh, no. I was just, I wanted to make sure because it seems like you guys were like really pro this, like at least this pilot for sure.
Yeah,
So far as pilot goes, we're like 2 thumbs up, and I feel like I'm like kind of like I'm not fully horizontal with my thumb, but like maybe like at a 70%.
Yeah.
Or at 2.5 thumbs.
I was like, it was good and it was fine, but I'm already like, I don't even know. I don't think I could. Would you watch 23 more episodes?
Yeah, that's not that many.
That's a lot, dude.
I feel like I'm definitely in for episode 2, and then from episode 2, like
feel it out.
Yeah, maybe I fall off, maybe I stick with it, but I bet there's cliffhangers in episode 2. So
yeah. I mean, I bet it has to like really keep stringing you along, as in like
it's funny that at the end of every hour something really crazy happens.
yeah. Well, and so okay,
what are
so
the odds?
I guess then also, we're gonna get in predictions now, but I did look, and we saw before we went in that we saw that season 2 says like day 2 something, and then the episodes in season 3 are titled day 3. How did you guys go about deciding what your predict? Because we're gonna watch the finale of season 8 in this,
which could be day 8,
which
as
could say the title could be day 8. Whatever to whatever. Do you think that is literally 7 days like after like this first season day or whatever, or is it just another 8, like a day 8 of the show, like it's day 8 years later or something like that, just like the 8th day they're cataloging the show.
think it's years later. I just don't think it's sustainable to keep doing that. This was a like fucking messed up week.
What a bad week this guy had.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it's got to be years later or something.
I could see them doing like a couple seasons that are strung together, that it's just like, hey, this 3-day weekend was crazy, but then I bet there's time jumps.
Yeah, like season like 3 through 5, that could be pretty baller actually. But like 8 days,
like aging alone, that'd be really tough.
Yeah.
To do, let alone like writing that.
Okay. I just wanted to see where we all like kind of went with our predictions before we actually say them. I feel like I did kind of evergreen predictions, but there's some that I'm like, well, this wouldn't happen in 8 days.
It's like 30-year-old Elisha Cuthbert playing a 16-year-old.
I didn't write it, but I'm almost for sure that Eliza Cuthbert's dead or gone by this season 8.
Kim.
I have thoughts.
KB.
There's no way. Well, you have thoughts. Do you want to lay them on us?
So I think they wrote her off. So I wrote this before. It was like the last scene that the van went by the like turn. So I'd already written this down, but I think that she's kidnapped, and that's how they explain that she's not around.
She gets taken, and Liam Neeson's nowhere in sight.
Yeah, she's Liam Neeson's, but Jack Bauer is he's busy elsewhere. So she's gone. I think number 2 is that Terry is dead. His wife is just dead. If they're even still married. It was hard to tell what exactly was going on.
Well, it seemed weird. Like at the beginning, it seemed like Kim, the daughter, was like trying to like sow like dissension between her parents,
right?
As if they were fighting or something was going bad. And then she goes into a room, and then Kiefer comes out and talks to his wife, and they're like, "Hey, what's up? Everything's great. Your daughter's nuts and like hates me or something like that." It's like, oh, so is this just a teenage daughter?
Yeah, this is a teenage daughter.
I'm sure it's like, well, they did mention that Jack had like been smooching on that Nina lady or something.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, allegedly in this show means it happened.
She said, like, she kind of denied it. Nina.
Well, you're gonna deny it.
She denied it by saying like, "Who said?"
She denied it to her like current boyfriend. Like
who she is of the Twilight series, apparently. If you're familiar, Sarah
wasn't.
Clark is her name.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my number 2. Terry's dead. So I guess that could be 8 days later or several years. So number 3, I think trains. Is what I wrote.
I think trains.
I think Jack's gonna need he's gonna be on a speeding train or something. You got to have stuff at some point going fast in this show because you only have an hour.
Okay. I have a fast vehicle as well.
Nice.
It's not a train.
I think
though.
trains. And then 4, I also said a tank because I think that this show has got to just become ridiculous at some point
Cool.
to up its game.
Tank on a train.
I'll be honest. I'll
Tank
go
on a
next.
train.
But I was like,
Snakes on a tank.
Space.
Oh dang!
But I
Space
didn't do space.
Oh,
Instead, my
I'm
first one
excited.
is a nuclear threat.
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Because like, what's I don't know. Besides space aliens or something, like what's worse?
Take it to the
Global
limit.
warming.
Nuclear.
Jack's gonna solve it in 24 hours.
Yeah. Jack Bauer is now a nuclear scientist that can disarm nuclear bombs. So number 1, there's a nuclear threat. Number 2, Jack and wife get separated / divorced.
Okay.
So that was my like, it can't be 8 literal days. I bet it's years, and I bet they're separated or divorced.
Mm-hmm.
If she's dead, they're separated. I'm just saying.
I guess.
By life and death. No. Number 3, my fast vehicle. I think there's a helicopter crash.
Of course.
'Cause-
There's got to be.
That's scary.
Those things crash.
Those
man.
things
It
crash and they're
happens.
scary. And then number 4, Jack sleeps.
Oh.
Just gonna take a little nap?
I feel like we don't see it in the whole show. I think in the end,
Except for the end.
on the last day, Jack sleeps.
Head's gonna hit that pillow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. On the 8th day, Jack rested.
God.
I think Kim is in the show. I think Kim is in danger. Actually, That's my predict.
Ooh.
I also think that Terry is dead. Jack's wife, Terry,
Yeah.
now dead. I think somehow the president is involved in a like vast conspiracy.
Mm.
Ooh.
I like it. I'm
Mhm.
into this.
Is it the State Farm guy?
Yeah.
Goes
Is
all the way to
it?
the
Is
top.
it still? Is it
I
the
bet.
State Farm guy?
I bet he becomes president. Yeah.
Second term.
Um,
If it's 8 days, maybe it's 8 years later, and
Yeah, it
he's
could
like
be.
second term.
And now he's plotting someone's death or something. And then my last one, I think that Jack fakes his own death.
Oh.
Like Dexter.
Yeah, like pretty much exactly like Dexter.
So that they can reboot it later.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. All right. Cool. So it's time to watch that finale, right?
Yeah.
So we're watching the last episode of season 8, which was technically the last one because the other one was called Live Another Day, and that was in 2014, 4 years after season 8. So that's a reboot. We don't count it as original run. So season 8, episode 24 was called Day 8, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Oh,
We have a nice afternoon
Oh,
episode.
little afternoon.
Yeah.
I hope it's a Sunday.
We'll find out.
I hope there's a picnic involved.
Yeah. So you have a nice little, it's just a nice day. There's nothing happening.
man, that'd be disappointing.
Oh, isn't it great that we solved
just
everything?
Watching him eat picnic foods for an hour.
If that's true, I'll probably get a point for him sleeping, but we'll find out. All right, we're going to watch that, and we will be back after that. And we're back. We're done with the final episode of 24. Well, sort of. Season 8. The original run, the
Yeah.
24. We finished that. Jimmy, right up.
Yeah. Okay, so this
So
is
energetic.
the best one that I found, and that's saying very little. Or a lot? I don't know. Written by Anonymous on IMDb.
Thank you.
Heads of state gather at the UN to sign a peace accord, while 3 at the CTU make a final effort to expose a conspiracy. I don't really know. Is that Jack and Freddie Prinze Jr. and Gail the Snail?
Yeah.
Is that the 3 that are trying to expose? Which really, by the end, they're all trying to expose it, I feel like.
Yeah, well, they know that Jack's up to something, but they don't quite know what, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the show starts off with Jack trying to like assassinate that one old guy.
Yeah. Which I did some research. He's like a former president.
Oh, that's why
That
they were
makes
calling
sense.
him Mr. President.
Mhm.
Because I was like, how many presidents did we have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Charles Logan was that character. And then some other, I assume, CTU guys or some sort of agents, Logan and Pillar, are dirty, and it says they're trying to tie up loose ends, and justice may elude Jack. Bam, bam, bam.
It didn't.
Of course it didn't. That would be silly.
Right away, the sweet camera angles with multiple shots all at once. From the first episode, played a more diminished role in this episode. Seemed like mostly during the opening credits is when they were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Joe, you said you thought you saw it maybe once or twice.
Yeah, a couple times, like coming in and out of commercials, really.
Yeah, but it was like way underutilized compared to episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to pay homage to it once in a while.
Yeah, they walked that back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then well, there was no wife or daughter anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they talked about the daughter, Kim, at one point. Like, they're going to go after her next.
Mm-hmm.
And her family, apparently. She's got a family now.
Of course, it's been 8 years since she was like 15, so she's probably married and has 8 kids or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, I mean, they said some other lady's name, like Sharon or something. And
Renee.
Oh,
who was like very special to Jack, but
yeah, he definitely was like, not Renee.
And she had died, but don't know who that was.
Everybody dies.
Yeah. I mean, so really, like, it wasn't like in a ton of action. Mostly, Jack really did very little in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
He like almost shot somebody with a gun,
mm-hmm.
and then he just got shot, and then basically let the events of 24 happen around him until the end.
Oh yeah, it's true.
It's kind of like he had all of this planned in place, and then it just was. He set the wheels into motion, and then they just rolled off after that because it was his plan, right, to get that data file to President Taylor, right? So that's the reason he gets shot, is so that what's her name can walk off with the data file.
Gail the Snail.
O'Brien is her name in the show.
And then get that to, I guess, news agencies is what they were thinking originally, but then like it gets intercepted, it ends up in the president, and then the president has after watching Jack Bauer's confession, has a like change of heart and decides she's going to put everything right.
That's right.
Yep.
Go her.
So there was some peace agreement between like Russia and somewhere in the U.S.
Yeah, what was the other country?
I don't know. They didn't have a flag.
Well, I think they did. I think it was just like there was always someone sitting in front of the country name.
It's always just never named on the show.
It just seems weird that it was like the United States, Russia, and then it wasn't like China or something, like it was
superpower.
It wasn't another crazy superpower. It was just like probably some other little country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, And so the president apparently, in order to somehow get this deal done, very shady things happened. And so she's like, they're hiding it. And Jack, of course,
she had covered up some things. Mm-hmm.
Because that's what he does. He smells crime. And then
he knows.
That's another It's Always Sunny. But so I looked quick, and O'Brien was in 126 episodes of this.
Gail the Snail?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, like, because there was a whole, like, they did a whole ending thing with her. She's just, like, weeping at the end of this for long periods of time. And you're like, okay, what is going on? And apparently she was a big character in this show, apparently.
It almost makes me want to watch this show with her in it just to, like see her in anything else besides her character from Always Sunny.
I've never seen her in a dramatic role.
Yeah. Every time I see her, I just want to throw salt on her.
I feel like for good reason, but maybe. She's in it for a long time.
She must have been doing all right if she was in over 100 episodes.
Right. Starring next to Freddie Prinze Jr., who I think was just in this season.
Yeah, that was kind of a show. Is that Freddie Prinze Jr.? Like right away?
Also, weird thing is he's technically in Rise of Skywalker, just to bring it back to
Freddie Prinze
the
Jr.?
dreams.
Technically?
Because he's a voice of a Jedi guy in Rebel, what's that animated one? Like
Star Wars
Rebel
Rebels?
Alliance or something? Is it Star Wars Rebels?
I think it's just Rebels.
Yeah. He's a Jedi in that, and in Rise of Skywalker, there's the part where like all the Jedi voices are talking to Rey,
Yeah.
and he was one of them.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, that was a little cameo.
You know, they just like called him and were like, "Hey, can you like go in your closet and record like, hey Ray,
Hey, are you busy right now? Hey, Sarah Michelle Gellar, is Freddie home?
are you guys like making like sexy toast commercials or whatever?" No, that was like
Toast?
dishwasher.
What is sexy toast, please?
Sexy toast.
Hey, don't
crunch.
ask me. Ask Freddie Prinze and
Oh,
Sarah Michelle.
Sexy
No.
toast. Now there's milk involved.
No, they were in some commercial. I think now that I'm actually thinking about it, it was like dishwasher soap or something like that. And they were like, "We do it every night," and it was running the dishwasher. But for some reason, I thought that it was toast. They like made toast or something.
We make toast every night.
I haven't had toast in a while.
Yeah, me neither.
I had toast this morning. Suck it.
All right.
Missing out.
With Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Welcome to the show. Yeah, that's all. That's all I got. Oh, there was another character that came in like halfway through the episode, named Arlo. Maybe that was the third person besides Jack. Anyway, and he was definitely like he was the guy in the chair, running ops, running
Guy
the
in
tech.
chair. Mm-hmm.
He's like he seems like maybe
He was the Emilio Estevez of Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
I'm sure tons of people will get that.
Yeah, that's a reference everyone knows.
I'd love to actually watch, the first and last Mission Impossible.
We better not have seen all the Mission Impossibles. Tom Cruise has got miles left to run.
He's never aged.
I think I've only seen the one that has the Limp Bizkit song. Is that MI2?
Is that the one? Is that when he's rock climbing at the beginning?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
the Metallica song too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's MI2.
Dope soundtrack.
Yeah. But you know what had an okay soundtrack?
What?
24. I actually don't think I could even place like a song
like
that
an
I heard.
orchestration.
Probably no songs.
Yeah.
It pretty much ended like I thought it would, where Jack Bauer cracks some sort of big conspiracy and then has to essentially just vanish.
Yeah.
My prediction was that he fakes his own death in order to vanish, but the episode ends with him like they're essentially like, we're gonna send the feds after you, but you got to leave the country. You get a head start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd be curious to know, like, in this last season, how much like they built up that conspiracy, and how much you knew, like, who was involved and whatnot going into this last episode. I was very surprised in how like little action essentially that there was in the show. But I mean, I guess there wasn't like an insane amount of action the first episode either.
No.
So like maybe just like in my mind, I think this is just like a Jack Bauer goes and like snipes everybody, and like I think Jack Bauer is Jack Reacher, or like James Bond, and really he's just like a dude that figures things out.
No, I think he is actiony. I mean, isn't there a meme about like Jack Bauer like always like putting people to sleep? Because like that it happened. He put O'Brien to sleep in like the last time on 24.
Oh, okay, maybe yeah.
Yeah.
Like Jack Bauer puts people to sleep, Chuck Norris roundhouse kicks them.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Okay, yeah.
It's got a signature move.
So maybe what I think is true just wasn't true for either one of the episodes we watched.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fair. Yeah, it wasn't bad though.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Does this one make you guys now want to continue to watch from episode 2 and go on? Is it still excited about this?
I think I'd be down to watch the first season of this.
Yeah. I think I'm probably more intrigued in the earlier seasons than later.
Fair enough.
Seems like it maybe got too big or something. I don't know.
I think I'm just farther ahead of you guys right now, where I just know I don't want to continue to watch season 1.
Yeah.
Like I think I would watch 2 to 3 more episodes of one, but I think there's no chance that I'm going to watch 23 more episodes. So I'm just not even going to try. You guys, I want this to be the show Joe watches all of.
I have a lot of questions. Got to see them get resolved.
It does seem like the kind of show it's going to keep you like guessing and always leave you with some tasty little cliffhangers. Like there were several cliffhangers at the very end of the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good too.
All of a sudden, Cruel Intentions, speaking of Michelle Gellar.
It all comes back to Cruel Intentions.
All of a sudden, she's like the killer and not the German guy you think, and she's exploding planes.
That was a fun twist.
I thought, like, when we saw her, it was like, oh, this is just like an early little bit, little part. No one knows who she is. She's not going to be anything. And then it's like, no, she's like maybe the big bad. I don't know.
Yeah,
well, probably the big bad, but
I kind of suspect though that once you get to the end of that first season, you're like, okay, but she didn't have to blow up the plane, right? That was just something she did just to be flashy.
Why would she have had to blow up the plane?
I don't know.
All she did was steal that guy's like press pass.
Unless that guy had to die for some reason. But then again, like, couldn't she just kill that guy in a less flashy way that attracts attention, like blowing up a plane midair?
It seemed like that plane was going directly to where she wanted to be.
Right.
Also that.
Yeah, it was going to where she wanted to go. She could have. I mean, she like, successfully got him banging on a plane. Mm-hmm. I'm sure she could have, instead of like acting like that like drunk girl persona that she was like pretending to be or whatever, she probably could have just not been that, a little less that, and then probably like went to his hotel or something like that. Then did it. Then
yeah, unless there's something bigger going on, like they're trying to make that guy look like a terrorist or something and frame him.
I mean, they definitely were trying to make him look like a terrorist, but that was to us.
Definitely covered all the tracks by blowing up the plane.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I would assume that if you're heavily believe in freedoms and you want to see someone enact freedom onto other people,
America,
then 24 is definitely a show for you.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of, I mean, he put a guy to sleep in the first episode to like get some stuff done, right? I bet he's like torturing people and like doing a lot of like extrajudicial stuff.
Yeah, I can definitely see
waterboarding.
Yeah,
I can definitely see him doing some things that are like, oh,
Jack goes to Guantanamo.
Well, I guess everything's okay in the end.
Yeah, I guess he stopped the terrorist.
Good job for not.
He did bite a guy's ear off in this episode. In
all fairness, though, that guy was an enemy.
He was a dick. Yeah.
I mean, they did allude to that at the end where the president says to Jack, like you're gonna have to answer to some stuff too. So like you're gonna have to run.
Yeah, not Mr. Clean anymore.
Like yeah, there's not like he probably did kill a bunch of people who like, it probably wasn't in his power to kill them.
Right.
So,
and also in the end, the United States now has one current and one former president that have definitely been involved in some sort of treasonous activities.
Yeah.
Like, and one of the presidents is going to come out. Well, the other one's dead.
Yeah.
Or wait, they thought maybe he could pull through.
Oh yeah. That
was a murder-suicide
well, I mean,
situation.
they were like, he's going to be like real messed up though.
Yeah.
But the other one, she's going to be like, this all happened. And it's like, okay, well, you just ruined the United States for a really long time. For everybody outside of it.
Generations.
Yeah, who goes... Well, I guess I assumed that the Logan old guy who possibly killed himself was now the vice president, but I don't know why I thought that, unless I saw that on the IMDb. But otherwise,
I mean,
there's a succession,
Yeah. And everyone's going to trust that from going forward.
Yeah.
For sure. Totally trustworthy. Should we see how we did?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh, I go.
Yeah, you went first.
I said Kim is kidnapped, and it did not seem that way. In fact, O'Brien swore to Jack that she was going to protect her and her family. And I said Terry is dead, which is inconclusive by what we saw. So, no points there. She is totally dead, though. I looked it up. She died like right away. And then no trains and no tanks.
Tanks, but no tanks.
So 0 points.
All right, well, hey, Jimmy, don't worry. I'm on that 0 point train, too. There was no nuclear threat. Jack and the wife were not getting separated or divorced. I mean, they were separated by death. But that's not what I was going for. Number 3, no helicopter nor helicopter crash. And technically, Jack did sleep, but I was really planning on like the end of the show being like, "You did it, Jack. Good job.
Yeah.
America's safe. Finally, go to bed. You've been awake for 8 days straight."
Mm-hmm.
He still can't sleep. He's
Yeah,
on the
no,
run.
he still can't sleep. So, nope, 0.
He's running.
I had Kim is in danger, and she actually seems fine. She's got a family and stuff, so she's probably okay. I had Terry is dead, and again, she wasn't in it, so no point there.
Well, I mean, in a way, I'm not trying to give you points here, but in a way, like, Kim is technically, like, getting in danger in a way. Like, the whole point of
Jack
him was saying,
concerned.
like, hey, you need to, like, make sure Kim stays safe because they're definitely going to come after her. Like, that was the whole point that he made.
Yeah, there's some risk, but I wouldn't say in danger. There's not an immediate threat. I don't
All right,
think.
I mean, talk yourself out of points. That's fine.
Like I was thinking that she was gonna be in the episode and like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kidnapped by
No.
terrorists or something.
She's
I was
she's
kinda surprised.
got a different job by now.
I had Jack Bauer fakes his own death, which no, but probably a good way to escape. I'm just saying.
Think about it.
Throw a sack of potatoes off a bridge and pretend it's you.
And then this last one was dead on. Because it's the president is involved in a conspiracy, and in the episode
Yeah.
she literally says, "I was involved in a conspiracy."
That was pretty great. Actually.
Well done.
You're like, I called it.
Well done.
So 1 point.
Well, hey,
Funny.
that's the only point tonight. So
All right.
That's one solid ass point.
yeah, good job, Joe.
Cool.
Way to be. All right, that'll do it for 24 and this episode of First and Last. If you, dear listener, would like to make a show suggestion or just get in contact with us, just, for funds and stuff,
Yeah.
you can do that at F&L Podcast on the Gmail or on the Twitter. You're listening to us on some sort of listening device. Rate us stars, because it helps. We like that. Thank you. I just was thinking about Charlie and... Dennis's speech for the thing. You do good. Vote for me. Everything well. Good.
So do.
I was talking like that. All right. No, I'm ending the show. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week for another First and Last. Goodbye.